The Geekbot is online. I'm starting the Go Live.
Go live. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name's John the Unwise Geek, and it's a great day to code. I'm glad you're here with me today, and go ahead and get started. To kind of recap what I did the last time around, I was able to go ahead and implement some basic follow alerts with Stream Elements, and those are working pretty good. A lot of the session data from all the testing that we did last stream cleared out, so we could kind of see who has streamed and hosted and followed and all of that off in the lower left of the screen. I'm seeing now it's a little dark, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. Um, so yeah, that's what we were up to last week or last stream, which was on Wednesday. A little later, kind of like today, but that's okay. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and do what I was talking about before. I was talking about figuring out a way of possibly uh, doing a co-stream with somebody in the very near future. Um, and if we do that, I'm kind of throwing around the idea of what we can do to get two screens up on, or get two instances of VS Code or whatever our preferred IDEs are up on screen with a minimum of inability to be read, if that makes any sense. So we have a 1920 by 1080 canvas. Um, so if we're thinking about things mathematically, um, so if we have two screens, 960 by 540, 960 by 540, we could go right next to each other and have one on the left, one on the right. Question is, 960 by 540, is that going to be, is that going to have text that's readable? Oh no. What in the world? Um, so will that be readable? That's the question. Um, so okay, that's fair. So yeah, so will it be readable? One thing I just realized is that alerts uh, thing doesn't have a way to move it off to the right or get it out of the way of the terminal if I start using the terminal for anything. That'll be on the list of things to do. But all right, so yeah, so let's go ahead and play around with it a bit. How do we get geometry on the screen? Okay, so let's go ahead and go over to Firefox. Get window geometry in Linux. Evidently, I've been here before. Oh, you know what it was? It was with that set window position. Um, for the window, it was for the window position script that I wrote to set up my stream. All right, so yeah, WM Control LG. Oh yeah, or get active window. It'll work too. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this back up. Let's open it. Open another window in. All right, so we're gonna do watch N2. So every 2 seconds, it's gonna go ahead and run that to get the active window. I'm gonna pull this over here and gonna go ahead and set this where it is. Now, what this is reporting is that it has a height of 1420 by 596. So we're almost to that 590. What? Well, We need to be 540. So that's 540, 1920, 1920 wide by 540 tall. So we don't necessarily need 540 tall as well, as long as we get that width. And I think our target width was oh well 960. So we'll need to get the width to 960. Hmm. Okay, so it's not updating. It's not picking up that Firefox is the active window. Oh well, you know what? How about we do this then? Go ahead and set this there. So that's 1420. Yeah, this works. All right, so this is about 952, 960. Get it exactly to 960. The height is, well, we want a width of 960, and I don't think height will actually matter. Not in the grand scheme of things, because if we're gonna go literally half, it would be 540, which is similar to this, which it's not super necessary. Yeah. So here's the question: is this readable? I'm gonna go ahead and put a windowed projector preview up here. And actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and do a full screen preview. Oh, that's totally readable. I mean, you have to get to full screen. That's definitely doable. Okay, so as a matter of fact, what we can do is what I can do is edit the mask so it uses the entire. Oh, maybe. So I need to. I could pull this all the way out like this. That is eminently readable. Pull this up here. And then whatever source we used for the other IDE can so if it's a terminal, it's fine. If it's a text editor, it's or if it's a terminal, it's fine. If it's VS Code, that's tough. Doesn't VS Code doesn't really scale down very. What if we go side by side? So I'm kind of eyeballing this as far as half. Yeah, it doesn't really help much either. I mean, we can always close down our side boxes or whatever these are called. So another thing I could do is, um, hmm. I'd have to take the chat off the screen or figure out a way to do something a little bit different with it. Hmm. So what I could also do is I could take off the entire animated background and yeah, I could take off the entire animated background and I could use the full screen. So what I'll do is I will create a new scene. Maybe a copy of me. Actually, it won't let me copy this. Okay. So, so when I get my new screen set up, I'll need a Mycroft cancel. I'll need an M word, a soundboard, a Spotify.
Sorry, I don't understand.
All right, cool. So go ahead and create a new scene here. And if for some reason the mic cuts out or the sound cuts out, we will be back momentarily. That should do that. Okay, so so far so good. It's a little blank right now. That's fine. Go ahead and add. Oh, which one's the camera capture? Oh, video capture. Yep. Add existing camera. There we go. All right. Hey y'all, glad to be back. All right, so so what's next? What we do next? We're gonna have to figure out a way to make use of two basically screens on the desktop. Now, so what I think I'm gonna do is add a X composite window capture, and we're gonna call it VS Code. Okay. Now we're gonna, instead of picking up the top panel, which it's trying to do now, I'll go ahead and find VS Code. If I can. Ow, I cannot. Where is... Okay, here we go. I don't know why. What is... Right. Yeah, so we're gonna grab this. We're not gonna. No, we're not gonna have to crop anything. We're certainly not swapping red and blue. Great. That'll work. Alright, so okay. So alright. So let's go ahead and see if we can read it if we do some resizing to where it will only take up half the screen. So it will take up a full half of the screen. You know, that's not horrible. That might be doable. Now we're gonna have a bit of a problem with the camera. So I think what I'll do, kind of try to make this cool. Alright, so I'm gonna grab the webcam source, pull it generally to the middle here. That'll be cool. Alright, and then or even off to the side here where even still a little less in the way. Then I'll go ahead and move the camera back down to the layer behind it. And then I'm gonna add a filter, the VS Code. Not a filter. Yeah, a filter. So it'll be a Luma key. Nah, it's gonna be something else. It'll be not a Luma key. Oh, chroma key, of course. Alright, yep, so chroma key, and then I have to figure out what that key color is, or rather what that background color of OBS Studio is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up GIMP, and meanwhile, I'm going to just go back here, just so we can follow along with this. And what are we gonna do next? What are we gonna do? Oh, right. We're gonna go ahead and take a screenshot. File. Create on screenshot. We'll just get we'll try to get a screenshot of that. Okay, so I just took a screenshot of the screen. That'll work. So we're gonna go into tools, color picker, and grab a sample of that. Take a look at this it's an HTML notation or a hex notation of 002451. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back over to VS Code. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and open up the filters, and we're gonna edit our chroma key settings to use that color code as our chroma key. So it just completely made the whole thing disappear, but play with the settings a little bit. Oh, yep, there we go. What can we accomplish with this? So yeah, that's kind of neat. It's actually putting the entire kind of blue color into the background. So still have a little bit of camera, but not exactly what I was hoping for. I mean, cool trick. I wanted a little bit of blue, and that the camera is a little bit clearer. Not clear necessarily, but hazy. Let's see how to do this. Let's put this back to default and go ahead and set that key color again. And I don't want it to have such a close similarity where it Alright, now it's not working at all. Great. Oh, because I didn't put it on custom. Got it. Alright. Alright, so having the opacity do that, it's like... some heavy contrast. I'm trying not to completely... I'd like to not completely clear out that color, just have it go slightly transparent. It's not letting me do that ever. So maybe it's a different filter than this. I'm gonna look at this color key. Oh yes, of course, color key. That's the one I was using. Alright, so key color type is custom. Go ahead and paste that value in. Hello again, everybody. Now, I don't need so much similarity. Look at a little bit of that other color. But I don't need as much opacity either. You know, it's doing the same damn thing. Maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. Instead of doing filters on this, what I might need to do instead is put my webcam back up on top and then add a filter to the webcam that perhaps makes this a little more transparent. Let's see. Maybe. Now you see me, now you don't. Not exactly what I'm attempting to do. Alright. We'll remove the limit key. A little bit. Not exactly what I made it for. Oh hey, that's what's up. That's what I was looking to do right there. Alright. So yeah, so what I had to do is I had to adjust the opacity of the chroma key that I had on for my green screen, and then from there it just kind of made everything a little more translucent, including me. Alright. So looking at this, it does look like we can still see a good portion of the screen. Yep. All right, cool. So what we can do is whoever is coding with me, put it right up top here, and if they have a green screen as well, figure out a way to interpose them over that. And yeah, so you can actually host two IDs here. One right up on the top. Cool. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and go back to the main mode here, and oh no, looks like it still stays a little translucent. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll edit these filters. Put the opacity of this webcam back up to full, and then I will copy this, paste, I guess as a reference, paste as a reference, then pull down this opacity, or wait, which one's, this must be the real one, is it? Oh no, this doesn't show. Let's rename this to webcam translucence. Oh no. Okay, so it renames both of them. Alright, so let's go ahead and Control Z until that second one goes away. Let's see if we could add a new video capture source. We'll call this one webcam translucent. Now, I don't know if it will allow me to use the same webcam or the same video capture for both. Certainly doesn't work. So, I might just have to go ahead and I wonder if WebSocket has a way to set a translucence or an opacity level for one of the inputs. So yeah, that's something to look into at least. So yeah, there we go. We'll have a camera, semi-translucent out here. It doesn't block any of the code. Then yeah, that'll work perfect. Alright, so let me see something. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, what do you want to go ahead and do then? Okay, so That's right, I remember what else I wanted to do. In addition to this, I wanted to go ahead and create some systemd unit files for the OBS button box, and I wanted to talk you through a little bit about how that's done. Gonna go ahead and put the VS Code screen for OBS button box back to the main. Now, one thing to note is each of these. There we go. That's it. Okay. So, one thing to note that each of these repositories are individual, but we don't have one main convergent OBS button box. Now what I could do is I could create one main project for OBS button box and then have it brought in as, have the others brought in as sub-projects. I don't necessarily know how to do that. That would be a great day to learn. Alright, so let's go ahead and fire up Firefox, so to speak. And, okay, so we're going to take a little bit of a divergence. We're going to go to Stream Elements. And one thing I realized is, this list in the side can be a little problematic. Okay. There we are. Okay. So, what we want to do is find oh, my overlays. There we go. Alright. So, let's duplicate this. Yes. Hope I did that right. Alright. So we're gonna call this, we're gonna change this to the overlay without the list. So all we have to do is just take this custom widget, I'm just gonna trash it. We're gonna save that, copy the URL, we're gonna create a new browser source. Let's take a look at that other browser source for a moment. See if I did anything different to it. No, I just said it's 1920 by 1080, and everything else is pretty much the same. So new browser, and we're gonna call this overlay no list. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and turn off that. We're still going to retain the ability to see followers without having that list up there. Let's go ahead and change this, however. We're going to call it Alerts Overlay No List. Alright, so that's good. That's what we needed it to do. At some point, I'm going to add a function of a box to go ahead and toggle that. I guess there's no time like the present. So let's go into the API. And go down to our let's go down here to the code app, route API toggle overlay. Yeah, for the lack of a better endpoint right now. Cross origin is fine. Let's me. Okay. Cross origin. Okay. Def toggle overlay. Oh, guys, I'm tired. So it doesn't need to be anything special. Not going to be an automation. How do I want to implement this? Alright, so what we'll do is we'll create a WebSocket call to see what is enabled and what is not enabled. So and we could go ahead and toggle from there in terms of browser sources. So we'll go ODS WebSocket API. We want to get to the GitHub page because that's where, yeah, there it is. Cool. Alright, so nope, docs, and then we want generated and protocol MD. But we don't want it for master, which is 5.0. We want it to be 4.x current. There we go. I got caught by that once. Alright, so we're gonna take a look at Git browser source property. There we go. Alright. Since 4.0.0 for further use of Git source settings will be removed in 5.0. Well, luckily we are not on 5.0. Best I could tell. So, go ahead and why isn't it rename that? Is it not activated? Yeah, it was because it's not activated. Oh, weird. Alright, and we're gonna just rename for the ease of use, we're gonna rename overlay no list to overlay NL. Yeah, it's not letting me change that. There we go. Alright, cool. So, yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and set up some calls. So we're gonna go ahead and localhost 5000 API call equals get browser source properties, and source is going to equal overlay. We'll just call it overlay. Oh no. Alright, so unexpected end of file while parsing. What was it parsing? And did I completely lose my API? Oh no, it looks like it bounced back up, but okay, so this was on line 749. Oh. Go ahead and just put a pass there for now until we get this squared away. Alright, perfect. Alright, so we got some data back. Source overlay status is okay. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna take this off screen for a minute. Alright, so the JSON, it does give us height, width, source, and status, but it doesn't give us any of the other data that I was expecting. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn off, actually overlay is turned off. Alright, so it doesn't actually report if it's on or not. It just says the status is okay, whatever that is. Alright, so let's take a look at a different possible call here. So it's not. Wasn't there a toggle or something we're using for one of the other automations, like chat or song or something like that? Take a look here. So it wasn't. Okay. So I remember it was in one of these call lists. That current stream, start streaming now. That mute currency. Bunch of set current scenes, set volume. Not refresh browser source, but that does jog some memory about what I've seen before. Browser source. Get browser source properties. Refresh browser source. Oh, there's something called get source active. Okay, so gets the source's active status of a specified source if it's showing in the. Alright, so let's go ahead and so the call is get source active and the request source name. So API. Call equals get source active, and the source name equals let's look at overlay. Source active false. That is correct. Now if we go ahead and turn overlay on, now source active is true. Now we also have a set source active, I saw. Oh, I didn't see. Okay. What did I see? Okay. It's not browser source properties. Maybe it's set source settings. Alright, this over here. Yeah, so that gives us all of the same information as other, but it doesn't give us an ability to toggle if the source is active or not. Wonder if there's a toggle source. Nope. No, there is only a transitions, profiles, stream, recording, virtual cam, sources, created, source destroyed, source volume changed. These are events. Yeah, I don't necessarily need events, I need requests. Alright, so there's create source, get source list, get source types, set volume, set the other tracks. That's exactly it. So we can see if a source is active or not, but we can't do anything to change it. Doesn't make any sense. Funny thing is, I remember doing something like this. Think. Right, it was when I was working on this refresh browser source, but refresh browser source wasn't working, so I figured out another way to basically turn it on and turn it off real quick. Was it set browser source properties? It was set scene item render. Alright. So then I basically need to I gotta find out whether or not overlay NL or overlay is active. Only one should ever be active at one time. And I would use get source active for that. And then from there, I would then call set scene item render, the source being the name of the scene of the source, and then render being true or false. So let's go ahead and try that. So set scene item render. And source equals overlay, since it's the one that's visible, and render equals false, which we have to type because it's a string to bool. Boom. That's how to do it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is a get scene active. Just going to go ahead and grab it, because that is also my reference. Alright, so first things first is find out if overlay is active or not. So what I'll do is I will just use data list equals it'll be source overlay. Yep. And the call list will be get source active. Get source active. Okay. Yeah, I gotta finish that. Oh, that's right. This wouldn't be a... That should work. Alright, indentation area. Fill an unexpected indent call list. Oh, because it's the call list down here. That is unexpectedly indented. Well, you know, until I get this squared away, I'm just going to go ahead and comment that out, put the pass back in. It is source name. Okay. So, okay. So let's go ahead and now, how do I get this returned? Because the way I have it running now asynchronously doesn't really return values. Do I have requests imported? Yes, I do. Alright, So instead of this, what I'm going to go ahead and do then is r equals request get, and it'll be use an f string http://API host, or is it API URL? Yep. API port API call equals get active source and source name equals overlay. Alright, so once we have that, what we're going to do is just return our. Let's see what we get when we do that. We could go ahead and take the call list out and the data list out. We do not need those. They are not required. We'll save that. Go back over to here. We'll go API, call toggle overlay, and we get a type error. So the return type must be a string, dictionary, tuple, response instance, or a WSGI callable, but it was a response. Right. So we want to go ahead and return the R body, response body. Oh, which doesn't have an attribute. Call body. Just body, not the method. It doesn't even have one of those either. Okay, so let's return it passed as a string. It'll be fine. Alright, well, it didn't break. That's cool. Didn't work either. So let's reload that. Yeah, I mean, that's all correct. Doesn't get a response. Why wouldn't it get a response? Oh, okay, that would do it. Right on. So, it already has an event loop running for some reason, and this is going to block what I'm trying to run. Okay, so let's just go ahead and restart the API. So it's Flask app equals API.body, and then it's going to go vm bin python 3 m Flask run. But I also need a H0000, and there. That should work. Yeah, not seeing any particular error. It's ran. It's just not returning anything. So let's take a look at the URL to make sure that is the same. I call. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Save that. And did it reboot? No, so we'll just go ahead and yeah. Start that. Still nothing. Holy moly. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab that URL just to make sure that it works when we paste it into the browser. Well, that didn't work at all, did it? Invalid request type. Isn't it supposed to be get source active? Aha. Okay. There we go. Alright, save that. Alright, we have to send our API for our ride manually now. It was fun while it lasted. Yeah, that wouldn't have anything to do with it. There's no quotes anywhere in there, so... Source active, source name, overlay. Alright, so let's see. Did I not include any? Oh, okay, so I could do make request, all data. I had to have included some, like, ability to make a call. Alright, so we're gonna make request, we're gonna make the call, and then we'll pass along a string of data, a couple of data, and then we'll await the result from make request. Alright. Back down here. And we'll do R make request get source active. That's fine if that's a string. This has to be a tuple. Source name. Overlay. Save that. And we'll await. So R equals await equal. No, that's not it either. Oh, await's only allowed within the asynchronous function. Now, how does that? I don't know how that would. I don't know either. So I don't know how that's going to affect the return. If the return is going to await as well, we'll find out. All right, toggle overlay. Okay. Alright, so coroutine make request was never awaited. I tried, man, I tried. Alright, so let's see. Oh, do I need to loop until complete that? Yeah, I do. Okay. So R equals loop dot run until complete. Alright, let's see if that actually returns something. Like, and can what that return be sent to a variable? Can that return be sent to a variable? There we go. That's what I was trying to say there. Blah, 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 blah. Let me take food. Or, yeah. Alright, so let's refresh. Hey! There we go. I still remember how to pull some stuff off. Alright. So, back over here to API.py. Now we're gonna go, so data is going to equal, no, we don't want to call it data. No, we can call it data, I guess. Or, let's do a JSON loads around this. So, we'll take a look at what this looks like, and if that works, we could use the data right from the return. Internal server error. JSON object. The JSON object must be string, bytes, or bytes array, not dictionary. Oh, okay. So it already. I guess it already comes in as a dictionary, so we don't have to fiddle. Yeah. Okay. Let's not fiddle. All right. So R is a dictionary. Save that. Restart that. Refresh that. Copy that. Set this here. We're gonna just return source active. There we go. We're just gonna slowly build on. Okay, so this one, okay, so it was a bool. So since I was returning just what the Boolean value of source active was, so it took return as the bool, which makes me wonder. Okay, so let's go target scene equals, all right, so R, now then we're gonna do, actually let's just do this, target scene, then target scene, oh, if I'm trying to do not a tuple, a ternary operator, and I got the JavaScript ternary operator format stuck in my head, so I can just do this here. If our source active, since it's returning a value or a Boolean value, we could just do that. Although this isn't. Yeah, okay, I haven't done a Python internally in about 2 weeks, so of course I forgot how to. There we go. Alright, so if overlay is active, so hold on. Alright, so there it is. Okay, so the scene that we're going to turn off is overlay if R, source active. So if overlay is active, we're going to turn off overlay. Else, it's going to be overlay NL. So then the on scene equals overlay if off scene not overlay NL. Hold on, let me think about that. I just confused myself. So it's overlay if off scene is not overlay NL. There we go. That's a little better. So if the on scene will be overlay NL if off scene equals overlay. Else overlay. There we go. There we go. Okay. So next thing I'm gonna do, go ahead and create a data list. Equals source off scene and it's going to be render. That's right, I just have to put this on one line. Render is false. Switch this over to double quotes. I think it coughs if it doesn't respond. So that's one. And then source on scene render true. Cool. Now the call list is going to be the same for both. Set scene item rendered. Actually, I don't think I'll need a I could just kind of hard code that. It's not worth the for loop. Really not. So we'll save that. We'll go ahead and restart our we'll restart the API. Then we're gonna go ahead and toggle the overlay. There it's on now. And now it's off. Now, each time that happens, we should see the other one pop up. So right now I'm seeing overlay NL, no lifts up. Now if we refresh that, see overlay on and overlay NL off. So, mission accomplished. Okay, now, so I'm going to go ahead and maybe spend, I'd say, the last half an hour we have together setting up at least one or two of the services as a systemd service. I want to go ahead and do them individually, and I was originally going to go ahead and have one main catch-all repository called OBS button box, which then pulls in the other ones as sub projects. I don't think I'm going to go into that quite yet, but what I will do is just create the overall project and then put the unit files in there. That would be a good start. So let's go ahead and go new window. Oops. Did I just completely close out of VS Code? I did. Oops. Alright, so we're gonna go, let's just use this window. So we're gonna go open folder. Folder I want, we're already in. Cool. So we'll go ahead and new file. All right. Now, I'm gonna open folder. We're gonna open this button box. There we go. All right. So now, go ahead and new file. We're gonna call this OBS button box API service. So this extensions that could help us with service. Yes, so we want to go ahead and we'll use this one with 126k users. So this colorizes systemd unit files. What does this do? This actually has configurations. So we'll go ahead and install that one as well. Cool. Alright, so back over into here. Let's go ahead and find ourselves an example or a template systemd unit file. Fedora magazine. Cool. Okay. So here is freedesktop.org's help file for unit files. All I want to really this will work perfectly. Alright, so let's go back over into here. We're gonna paste this in, but we're not gonna keep these values. Description will be OBS button box API. Now this is, we're not gonna need an after, maybe after networking. Maybe. You know what? We don't need any requirements. We don't need any. Yeah. So type is going to be simple, if I recall. Yep, simple. Then exec start. We're going to have some fun with this because sorry. Uh-oh. Oops. Okay. So assert directory to start path exits. Equals home John projects OBS button box. OBS button box API. I'm gonna have to think about that. Maybe set up these systemd files to run off opt instead of my home directory, but this will do for now. Can we use variables in systemd file? Yeah, non-environment variables. Okay, so don't worry about that. Exec start will be John projects OBS button box API. Oh, we do need to set an environment variable. At least for the API, we definitely will. Environment. Okay, so it's under service and it's in environment. Is API Flask app. API.py. Okay. Then pi vin bin python 3 m flask run h0000. All right. We don't need nice. We don't necessarily need a temp and yeah, so we can keep wanted by. All right, so let's go ahead and save this, and we're gonna go ahead and just link it right. What? Okay, so this is on line 778 and toggle overlay. All list is not defined. Well, yeah, of course. API.py. It's 779. Yep. Alright. Yeah, because these just needed to be commented out. We'll save those. Alright. So we're gonna turn it off and we're gonna win symbolic. What is I always forget with linking what goes first, the file exists or the place you want to link it. User lib user lib systemd system. Need to be in system? It probably needs to be in user. Yeah. So we're gonna link symbolic home John projects OBS button box API.service to API OBS BB API service. At least it seems to be trying to work. So if I was here and I cat OBS BB, hey, okay, cool. So it's systemctl start OBS BB API. Do I need to add the dot service? No. Okay, so we're gonna move OBS BB to system. That looks like it may have worked. So let's see. So journal D, rep OBS BB API. That's journal CTL. I would love it. I would love a used computer that could actually pull in the journal and then grep through it instantaneously, as if grepping through D messages. That would be so cool. All right, there we go. So, all right, so it looks like we have an invalid argument error. So I wonder what was invalid. Oh, what? Class gap equals API.py, that's fine. Do I need to put in a working directory? Yes, equals 10. Alright, so let's save that. Alright, so we need to reload the daemon. Systemctl status OBS BB API. Okay, so we got an invalid argument. So maybe setting that working directory was helpful. So we'll just go ahead and start it again. Okay, looks like we're in business. Awesome. Alright. So, now we can always do something, we could do something cool with this. So we have exec start, and we can do a restart on abnormal, or on failure. Is it on failure or on... So let's go back over here to systemd free desktop menu. Then let's add restart. So we're gonna go our search to restart equals. Which is evidently in systemd service for some reason. Alright, so this configures whether the service shall be restarted when the service process exits, is killed, or a timeout is reached. The service process may be the main service process, but it also may be one of the processes specified with exec start prelude. When the death of the process is a result of a systemd operation, service stop or restart, the service will not be restarted. Timeouts include missing the watchdog, keep alive ping, deadline, and a service start, reload, or stop operation timeout. Takes one of no, on success, on failure, on abnormal, on watchdog, on abort, or always. If set to no, the service will not be restarted. If set to on success, it will be restarted only when the service process exits cleanly. In this context, a clean exit means any of the following, an exit code of 0. For types other than type 1 shot, one of the signals sig hub, sig int, sig term, or sig pipe. Okay, so if set to on failure, the service will be restarted when the process exits with a non-zero exit code. So yeah, let's go ahead and use on failure. That's exactly what we want to see. Yeah, okay, so we'll go ahead and use on failure. Save that. We're gonna have to do a daemon reload. And then we'll restart. SBB API. So Monica is back home in California where she's from, and I'm talking with her over on Telegram, and I'm bragging to her about adding systemd files to OBS button. Alright, cool, so we should have the API up and running now. Let's go ahead and double check that. Uh-oh. It's kind of working, but it's just returning an internal server error. Oh, you know why? Because I need to add some additional logic behind that, so it returns something other than nothing. Alright, cool. So yeah, that's our OBS button box API service. I am going to go ahead and stop the service now that I think about it. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep that there. But I will need some way to install this. Oh, eventually. Let's see. Maybe we could go ahead and set up one of the other services on systemd. Another thing is I won't have logging for it, will I? Okay, so let's go ahead and copy OBS API service. We're going to paste it in. And then we're going to rename that to... Let's do soundboard. We'll do soundboard next. Soundboard service. Cool. Okay. But it's not soundboard, is it? No, we call it audio player. So we're gonna rename. Oh no, cancel. rename this to audio player service. Okay, so let's look in audio player. All right, this is a very simple Python program. So set the working directory to audio player. I'm gonna call it soundboard though in the description, just so the logs show a kind message. So we won't need any environment variables for this. So for exec start, change this to audio player. We're still going to use the same essential exec start, because using the Python that's in the virtual environments bin folder automatically has all the Python paths for that virtual environment baked in. So we don't necessarily have to activate the virtual environment to use the virtual environment, which I think is really cool. So we will go audio player.py, and we'll have it restart on failure. Save that, and we're going to go ahead and link this into here. I'll go back, see if I can find my link command. There it is. Reload the systemctl daemon, and we're going to go ahead and go here. So that's the countdown. This is the audio. We're going to exit out of that. There it is. The systemctl start OBSBB soundboard. Systemctl status OBSBB soundboard. Oh no! So, we've restarted, but it doesn't show us any reason why. We're gonna go to sudo journal ctl. We're gonna grep OBS soundboard, and we're gonna get a snap. Okay, so it's saying it's given us a bunch of invalid arguments, but it's not really telling us why. So, well, it is set to the wrong working directory, so that could be something. Go ahead and give it a restart. Hey, Mycroft, give us a cheer.
Great, you.
Alright. So we're obviously not getting a cheer. not just a matter of me not being upgraded, is it? Nope. Any error on the service? Ooh, okay. Okay, so it couldn't play or open temp folder. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do private temp equals true. Let's save that. Load the daemon. Restart the soundboard. Alright, so it's restarted. Hey Mycroft, give us a cheer.
Great, you.
So I think one of the major ones is it's unable to open the audio device. It's calling it busy. That's because, well, okay, maybe it has something to do that the user is not me. So save that. Hey Mycroft, give us a cheer.
Great, you.
Yeah, okay, so it's still saying that the device is busy. So I might have to continue running soundboard. Well, let's do some research here. Maybe we can figure that one out. Can't play sound from program running as systemd service. Let's see if we can. Yep, systemd service. Blah, 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 blah. Systemd service doesn't play sound. This is from bbsarchlinux.org. It's slow. Alright, so play some file t also q. That's essentially more or less what I'm doing from the soundboard. Only it's then routed through the stream. Sets timer, runs the script at a certain time. Timer successfully called and the corresponding service is also successfully called. And exits with a success code. Problem is the sound's not heard. Okay. So did I leave the audio player playing something? This is the countdown. No, I did not. Alright. Failed to open file, temp. All that stuff. It could be an Ubuntu issue. This is Ubuntu Mate that I'm running on. So, here's the service definition. Okay. So it's not, essentially not finding a pulse driver, and it's not finding any sound or video. So wanted by sound.target doesn't work. Alright, so in current versions of Ubuntu, typically sound is handled by the Pulse Audio server. You run sound players from your logged in session, and the player will find the server through the environment variables, XDG runtime directory, and or Pulse runtime path. For a job in systemd or cron to be able to find the server, it'll need these values. Luckily, those values are predictable via the username, and should not change from one login to the next if it's the same user. Setting display was a good try, but it's not the right session rate. For example, if the user Tim is the first user on the system, the user's UID is likely 1000, of course, or type ID. To add your systemd file, add to your systemd file the following: environment xdg runtime run user 1000. Alright, you know what? Let me just double check my ID and make sure that is the case. Yeah, alrighty. So let's go ahead and also in rep xdg runtime. Okay, yep. And let's see if we have a pulse runtime path. We do not. So it looks like xdg runtime is going to be the one that we're going to be using. So let's go ahead and add this to an environment variable. I might have this in the wrong area. Or I might be misspelling it. Alright, so we'll save this. And you know the drill. Reload the daemon. Restart the soundboard. Type into password. Give it a minute and we'll check the status of the soundboard. Seems to like it. Oh, here goes nothing. Hey Mycroft, give us a cheer.
Great, you.
Or not. Okay. So we might be also well. So let's take out private Tim. And let's actually look at what our error was first. Okay, so it's still unable to open the audio device, calling it busy. Alright, so it's still having a problem without that pulse runtime path. So we'll copy this. Interesting. So they originally put this in double quotes. So maybe that's what I was missing. Cancel.
I'm not sure I understood you.
I'm certain you didn't understand me. Alright, so we'll save this. Okay. Hey, Mycroft. Give us a cheer. Maybe?
Too late, you.
API went fine, but Monica is asking me how it went. Adding systemd files to the button box. I am telling her the API went fine, but the soundboard is giving trouble. I blame Pulse Audio. Okay, so okay, Pulse Audio unable to connect, access denied. Alright, so this one is I have a service that eventually makes a system called PACTL set sync volume. This works fine if I run binary as my local user, but there's a connection error if running as a service. When creating the service entry, I also see that user. I also set that user. Pulse Audio is running non-daemonized. Trick here. Pulse Audio is running as the X user that is logged in. Monica says, always blame Pulse Audio. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So what environment variables, what are you doing in your service, and why would you need to run that as a system service? You can run that just like Pulse Audio as a user service. That will immediately fix all these issues. Okay, so we need to run that as a user service, which means we need to systemctl stop obsbb soundboard. Alright, and we need to disable obsbb soundboard. So that should remove obsbb soundboard from this. No, so obsbb sound. Now let's go into user. Lin S home John projects OBS button box. OBS button box soundboard. I know I called it audio player. Dot service to obsbb soundboard dot service. If at first you don't succeed, reload. Alright, so let me look at systemd's user service. Alright, launches a systemd --user instance when the user logs in for the first time. This process will survive as long as there's some session for that user, and will be killed as soon as the last session for the user is closed. Okay. Similar to system units, user units are always located in the following directories, ordered by ascending precedence. User lib systemd user. Okay. Etsy systemd. Cool. And .config systemd. That's cool. Alright, when the systemd instance user starts, it brings up the per user target default.target. Other units can be controlled manually with system user. Okay, so I think that was my issue right there. I need to do system CTL user start OBSB. Failed to connect to the bus. Oh, that's because I'm trying to do this as the root user. All right, home. Oh, yeah, okay. So I understand these work better if you use the correct file names. Okay. Hey Minecraft, give us a cheer. Hey Minecraft. Buddy? Where did you go? Hey Minecraft. Okay, so yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, hey Minecraft. Okay. Oh, maybe because I did restart all instead of all restart. No, it's the same thing. Hey Minecraft. Hey Minecraft. Yeah, no, nothing. I got nothing. Alright, so CLI. Oh, still booting up. Failed to find intent. Oh no! Alright, so let's completely... and then completely restart them. Oh, we'll take a look at the CLI and make sure we're not seeing any issues. Starting. Hey Minecraft. Yeah, no. I wonder if the mic's busted. No, the mic's still working for OBS. I had no problems crossing over before. Alright, so... yeah, okay, so nothing with the soundboard is working. So let's system CTL status OBS BB soundboard. Oh, because it is a user service. Failed to open temp file. Alright. Alright, so we're still not quite working there. Let's go ahead and stop that. Right then. Hey, Minecraft. Okay, so that had nothing to do with that failing, I guess. How about a horn? Oh no! Oh yeah, okay, so. Failed to create secure directory. Oh, okay. Alright, so it's getting a permission denied to run user 1000. What else is working? Okay, but that didn't pull in any, yeah, I don't think that's gonna be right. So let's go into run user. So the permissions there are fine. Alright, yeah, that's why. Alright, so we're gonna get sudo shown. Alright, so let me explain what's going on a little bit. So when I ran it in systemd with those particular variables, it created Pulse as a directory owned by root and the root group. This is supposed to be user run files, so that's not going to work because John can't access root unless John uses sudo, which John can do. But that's not something John is usually typing in every time something runs. So that was that. I can't help but wonder if that was one of the issues, if that was an issue at play with running it as a user. So what I'm going to do is actually systemd user. Where did it go? Or was I in user lib? I was in user lib. That's not a bad thing. Alright, so systemctl user start obsbb soundboard.service. Alright, so let's just run lsla in here. Okay, good. We still have Pulse by John. Hey, Minecraft. Let me go ahead and restart Minecraft. That might have actually resolved that as well. Nothing is working. I live for this shit. Excuse me. Stuff. I live for this stuff. Sorry, Twitch. Hey, Minecraft. Give us a cheer.
Hooray, you.
Okay. So far what we've been able to accomplish today is I think we got a good plan for co-streaming with one on top of the other and the kind of semi-translucent camera, which doesn't block text but still gives a good interaction with the streamer. We did a few cool things with setting up systemd services for OBS button box. Yeah. Then yeah, so next stream we're gonna go ahead and continue working on the systemd files. Just kind of streamline setting up OBSBB and just making it easier to distribute and operate. So yeah, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and work over the course of the weekend to get these up to the GitHub repo. If you're interested in it, check out the Twitch chat. You should see that the link https://github.com/Unwise Geek. If you're interested in reaching out to me for any reason at all, go ahead and do so via my Twitter. It's the Unwise Geek. And yeah, thank you so much for coming out with me today. And on Monday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be back. I will not be streaming next week as a heads up on Wednesday, and I will be back at it on Friday. Well, thank you again, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. Hope you don't do anything I will, and I will see you on Monday. Hey, Mycroft, play the outro.
I'm starting the outro.